about 30 minutes early. Uh, Unfortunate news, unfortunately. All wigged, obviously. It's all wigged. It's the Chinese and the Russians and Norma Foley. It's the Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. It's literally everyone. Everybody's conspiring against a young woman today, and it's unfortunate that everything's happening. That everybody's conspiring against. So basically, there's going to be a lot of whinging and quivering and crying tonight. That way. So there'll be a lot of coping. Let's put it that way tonight about different things. So, hello, Sean. But yeah, all wigged, obviously. All wigged. It's millions to one. It actually is millions to one. It's millions to one. It's all wigged. Let's be fair. It's first of all it's the Chinese. The Chinese are to blame. Xi Jinping. Second of all, it's the Russians. It's Putin. It's Putin. I'm going to come out with a whole video tomorrow, and about everything who I'm going to blame and all that. It's definitely Putin. Putin influenced the election. Basically Putin done it. It's Putin's fault. So it's Putin. Let's be fair. It's all Putin. And second of all, it's Norma Foley's fault too. It's Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael's fault. It's Joe Biden's fault. It's Zelensky's fault. It's everybody's fault. Let's put it that way. There's going to be a lot of giving out tonight. Let's put it that way. I'm looking for I'm basically blaming everybody. Let's put it that way. It's Joe Biden's fault. I already blamed Zelensky. It's Michael Higgins' fault. It's everybody's fault. Let's put it that way. To influence the election. Yeah, right. I'm just gonna come up with this all night. And come up with it as I go along. It's the emperor's fault in Japan. The emperor of Japan's to blame for this too. Everybody's to blame for it. Everybody. So I don't know what they expect, but obviously all seriousness is probably before I start giving out again. Obviously, the SDLP and the two other parties will be in coalition government. Basically, that's what's going to happen. Basically, because I don't think the three parties really don't have a majority. So they will have to form a coalition most likely. Pretty much like Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, there'll be a coalition government probably. So the SDLP probably have to go in with them. Unless there'll be another election, because I don't see them. It's kind of hard to see at the moment what's going to happen. But most likely it'll be a coalition government. Because they won't have the numbers. I don't think to make up a government. So, with the photo come down now, I don't know what you mean. See, it's all far right conspiracy theories. The Russians are trying to disallow the SDLP. They're trying to they're paying YouTube to influence these other parties in Finland. They're trying to destabilize Finland. It's all Putin that's to blame for this. It's Putin. If Putin didn't exist, we wouldn't be here at the moment. We'd be celebrating. All Putin's fault, as you know. And Xi Jinping too, of course. TikTok played a big role in this. They influenced everybody. They were bribing people not to vote for the SDLP because they knew the people would all that. So I don't know. I'm finding every excuse. Let's put it that way. So I make up every excuse I can. Let's put it that way. I've become another whole video with excuses. Let's wait and see. But yeah, so let's see anyway what happens with the government formations. But definitely there have to probably be a coalition, because I don't think even the three parties, they don't have the numbers. The two parties that won, the Conservative kind of party in Finland, and the so-called far-right party, they still don't have the numbers kind of to make up a parliament, so they kind of will have to be a big coalition kind of. That's the way I say it. Of the three big parties. But in all fairness too, just to say, it was very, very close. We're talking a few thousand, that's basically, but very, very close election compared to here. Very, very close. Like literally, only a few centimeters between the parties, basically. Very little between else. That's it's very basically it was a very neck and neck election basically. So yeah, first of all, they were doing well in the pre-votes, like the way you can pre-vote in the facts. They got 20% of the pre-votes, the Social Democratic Party. So they done well in the pre-votes, but I think it was just the people who turned out today. But in fairness, they got it done in the one day too. So, like if that was us here, they took 5 years to do it. So, but I will say this: I do have hope the SDLP will be in government anyway. In the new Finnish government, I do say there will be in some case in the Finnish government, obviously in coalition. Because I don't think they would have the numbers, so they won't be able to form a government. So they probably will need it. If that makes any sense. Pulling it all stops tonight, let's put that way. But yeah, so are you talking about the Social Democratic Party? No, it's a long story, basically. It's a huge long story. I'm very flustered, so yeah, what do you go on tonight about different things? I just blame Putin all the time. I literally looked up a Democratic book in America, what the Democrats usually say, their excuses when the election is not going to their favour. So I've done all that, all they say, what they said. I've done all the research, so I know what I'm going to say based in the next video I'm coming out with. Like it's all with this Putin. Putin. It's everybody but anybody else. But it's more. But it's more to be totally honest. Like there was an article there. The majority, there was a poll done. 60% of people in Finland said that she did a good job, like which is very good compared to over here in this shit country. Let's be fair. Like Mickey Martin and Leo and like let's be fair, they never seen the likes of 60% of people approve of them and said they've done a good job basically. Like I love to see, and particularly Eamon Ryan. Like who would go and say Eamon Ryan's doing a good job? So that's a good number. People 60% said that she's done a good job, and stuff like that. So, that's very good. Let's be fair for the whole population. That's very good, 60%. And then obviously you said, I think somebody said about COVID restrictions, but the vast majority of people in Finland, looking at the statistics and stuff like that, people were more happy than they were over here. People were very angry with the government over the restrictions and stuff like that. But generally, people in Finland wasn't really too phased about it, let's be fair, because they are kind of living an isolated life anyway. People in Finland, they like their distance, so they wouldn't be they wouldn't be going out to nightclubs like we do here. They'd be more conservative, I suppose, in that kind of way. They wouldn't be going out and jumping around the streets, basically. They'd be keeping their distance away from a lot of people, so it didn't really affect them as probably much as it affected us here, not being able to move around and stuff like that, or do things. Yeah, all stay in the saunas, like as long as they have the saunas to be happy, basically. They're not really going to whinge about it, basically. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah, I think I looked at it and I did look at it. It was around 75% of people in Finland during the lockdowns were happy with the government. We're happy with Anna Marie. Compared to this country, which I barely take it by, was about 10% people were happy with the government, with the COVID response. Like, let's be fair. And Ireland was one of the harshest lockdowns in the world, just to say too. In Finland, when the pubs were closed here and stuff like that, and churches were closed, they were open in Finland. So Ireland was a lot worse based in Finland. So you can get what I'm saying. But 75% still is still very good. Compared to probably the rest of the Western world, where people wasn't very pleased with the government at the time. So that's still a very good number. And the same with 60% of nearly everybody in Finland said she'd done a good job. So it's all rigged, obviously. It's all rigged. So the numbers don't make sense. So it's just rigged. It's China and Russia and Norma Foley and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna blame everybody. Like let's be fair. I'm blaming Micheál Martin and it's Leo and it's I don't know. We blame everybody. It's the NGOs. The NGOs are the blame too, of course. Like I'm just gonna make up every accusation I can now. There's like. It's Greta Thunberg too. Greta Thunberg didn't. Actually, just the one thing I say, the Green Party in Finland didn't do too buzzing. They lost loads of support, um, it feels bad basically for the Green Party in Finland. They lost nearly 5% of the voters basically, and I think the majority of them went over to the SDLP, like the Social Democratic Party. So the Green Party in Finland's not looking too buzzing. They lost a lot of seats, in other words. So the Green Party's not doing well in Finland. So at least that's one consolation. But definitely, no, all seriousness aside, I do think it'd be a coalition government with the SDLP, with the Conservatives, with the, other people. But often vote different way. They obviously, well, yeah, but a lot of people in Finland, even before this, it was very close to call, the election and stuff like that. But no, but generally people were more happier in Finland. Generally people were more pleased with it, like compared to New Zealand or something like that. People were openly fucking angry, more than in Finland. People were more happier, I suppose. They weren't out in the streets demanding the government to stop the lockdown and stuff like that. There might have been some, but not to the extent obviously as Ireland and New Zealand and other countries, with big anti-lockdown protests and stuff like that. And again, 75%, again, a lot of people did. And, it's kind of shows that they did get a good lot of votes still at the same time. Like, I think the SDLP, they got nearly 29% of the vote or something like that, so they'll be the third. So, they did well enough. Like, let's be fair, they're doing well to Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Like, let's be fair. In the next election, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are not going to look too well, in other words. But particularly Fianna Fáil, because they actually are going to fall a bit in a second, basically. They're not going to last much longer, Fianna Fáil. They're kind of on the last legs. And the Green Party won't do well at all, either. They're going to go the same as the Green Party in Finland. So Eamon Wyden's going to be upset. Let me see. To be totally honest with you, I'll be honest for a second. I kind of thought they would come second, like it'd be neck and neck, literally. But it is kind of neck and neck, looking at the votes here, that the three parties were literally neck and neck. Like, there wasn't much in between them, basically. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like there was much, like, in the way. Like, it's not a big, insane amount of votes one party got. Like, it kind of all was 50-50, or very, very close, Like, nobody could say it would be this close, Rigged by Unipol, yeah, it's all rigged. Yeah, I was rigging the election. But yeah, not the result that we hope for tonight, I know. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But I'm just thinking of my excuses now. Basically, let's put it that way. Thinking of all the excuses I could make. So yeah, think about it. So yeah, what else? What do we take? What do we generally take of the election now? Yeah, for pints of milk. Yeah, I just do that. Hello, Niall. No news at all. Nothing at all. Everything's fine. I'm just going into denial now at this stage. I'm just going to make up denial stuff. Obviously, yeah. Yeah, so here's the final results. So 26.6% went to the Conservative Party, basically, in Finland. And the Finns Party done 21.1%. And Sanna Marie's party, the Social Democratic Party, was 19%. So basically, a few numbers, basically, in difference. Like, very, very close. Like, extremely close. You know. Like, literally extremely close. Like we're talking literally close. Mm. Uh, so that's the literally it. Hello, assassins. Good to see you. How you doing? It's a while since I've seen you. But yeah, no, like literally extremely close now. So obviously, a few of them folks were slipped in by Russian agents, of course. Um, Working for the Russian government, of course, they slipped across the border there and put a few extra folks in. They found a few extra boxes. Happened just to find them there. They just turned up, like they literally just turned up out of nowhere. Um, of course, all wigged, obviously. Yeah, crossed over for St. Petersburg, exactly. That was just a party that had nothing to do with any cocaine at all, I think. So I don't think it had anything to do with the video. I think people in Finland forgot about the video, didn't they? Hello, Irish brother. How you doing? Oh my god, what on me? Hello, Yusuf. I'm taking off all the excuses I can make up now. And that's what I'm taking deeply about it. So yeah. Hmm. So anybody else have any other fun today? Apart from watching me suffer. The pain, the suffering. No, but genuine question. Does anybody actually think she would win, Leslie? Also, this stream is sponsored by the SDLP, of course. A few checks in the post tomorrow, too, of course. Next move on these three political tests. What? Jeez, don't go like that now. Yeah, well, I don't know. Go to Estonia now. Well, she does actually get on with the Estonian Prime Minister. Yeah, she's a woman too. But of course, the Estonians had something to do with it too. They colluded with the Russian government to rig the Finnish election. So I don't know. So I don't know. They made up some excuse to win the election in Estonia. Oh yeah, I have the excuse now. Sorry, the rigged it because they wouldn't going to let Senna was going to have a crackdown on people going over to Estonia to buy liquor. So she was going to send out the navy, the Finnish navy, to intercept people with alcohol going to Finland. She was going to send out the Finnish navy to put a stop to it, and the Estonian government was like net, and they colluded with the Russians to rig the election because they didn't want it to happen. It's all making sense now. The conspiracy theories are right. It all makes sense there now. It's a rigged election. It's the Estonians and the Russians. They colluded to get along with the Chinese, along with Norma Foley, along with the World Economic Forum. They didn't like. I don't know. Um, it's all rigged basically. It's no queer too. I forgot about no queer. King Moon, someone, all them. It's all them to blame too. Like some amount of everybody's getting the blame here now. Of course, Iran and Saudi Arabia, mainly Estonia too. Estonia was the wing leader here along with Russia. Oh yeah, the Venezuelan government too. They rigged the election too because Finland found loads of oil uh, in Lapland, and Venezuelan Iran wasn't happy with that, so they colluded with the Russian and Estonian government to rig the Finnish election. Obviously. Obviously. I should have got a big board to the end and started drawing up things like a madman, like that meme. You know. Whoever controls the bikes and education system controls everything, basically. But yeah, it's all the Estonian government and Russian government that's the blame for it. But literally, at least it's some consolation that it was a very, very close, like probably one of the closest elections you ever could see. Literally. By literally a few percentage points, basically, not even percentage numbers. What prediction for another couch starter? Yeah, we're starting another couch. Well, she should get a job in Ireland. Can we get rid of Leo and me whole, please? Can somebody start a petition to do that, and we can put us 5 minutes to have that as Taoiseach? That'd be a lot better, wouldn't it? Like I think I accept that deal. Would you? Like, let's accept that deal. Yeah, but just to say too, she won whole constituency, so she got elected. Yeah, whole constituency. Not she got elected in the first count. Um, just to say because I just seen it there. So not like Leo. Leo got elected on the sixth count, and me whole mountain on the 16 count was the. Oh no, that was Stephen Donnelly. Basically, got elected in the Four Scouts, so at least she's popular in her constituency, in her area, compared to Mihole and Leo. Like, let's be fair here. Let's give her that, I suppose. Sen Oman, yeah, Sen Oman. So yeah. But what do we think will happen in her? Enough quiet on the side. Like, what do we think will happen? Would you think there'll be a big coalition government, or what's going to happen? Do you think the government, they won't be able to form a government, there'll be another election? If so, then it's not wigged. But if it is wigged again, it's wigged, basically. It's if it's typical. So what do we think will happen, basically? They'll be able to form a government. Because again, they will obviously have to go in, the three parties, because going by the numbers there, they pretty much have the same number of MPs, the members of the parliament. Uh, a few extra, basically. They only have the Conservative Party, probably about 3 or 4 extra members of parliament, then the same with the other party. So basically, nobody has a majority, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's clear to be seen, nobody has a majority. Like, the number's literally a few percentage. Just literally by a few percentage. Like, the SDLP is a 90, barely, nearly 20%. And the National Conservative, along with the True Finns Party, at 21.1 is the True Finns Party, the second place party. And then the National Conservative Party is on 20.6%. So basically, all just by a few percentage. So, they have very few seats, basically, the two parties. Yeah, loose coalition, like, because it's extremely close. It's not like the Irish election where Fianna Fáil Fine Gael got hammered in the last election, and Sinn Féin took the majority of the vote, basically. It's literally by a few percentages. Like, we're talking literally a few percentages. Like, I think the True Finns, or particularly the National Conservative Party, they probably only have 2 extra MPs compared to the two other parties. You know, like, it's not much, based. That's what I'm trying to say. It's literally only a small difference. It's not literally huge, and they couldn't form a government unless they went into coalition. So you might see Santa back as Prime Minister. Maybe the two other ones might not go, because they don't look too fun. The two other ones, the leader of the True Finns Party and the leader of the Conservative, so they don't look like they're that fun or nice people. So we need Santa back as Prime Minister. So hopefully everybody upwise and say we need Santa as Prime Minister. That's hopefully the one condition. I think I'm coping too much here now. Then Also, I put up a poll there about a few hours ago, and it's definitely rigged. Like, it's definitely Russian bots hacking the Irish Cavan election system on YouTube, basically. Like, again, it's all rigged. It's all these Russian bots and everything. Like, how does 7 people have voted so far? How does Mickey Martin, in other words, have 57% of the vote? Who's a good prime? Who would be a good prime minister? How? Well, at least nobody voted for Eamon Ryan, so at least nobody cares about Eamon Ryan. At least 14% voted for Leo the Link. So it's all rigged, basically. Yeah. Well, at least put it this way, at least one consolation that at least she done better than probably me, Holo, or Leo, and we all them put together, basically. You know. So I no, but you know, people say Mickey Mountain was better to like you look at the poll and you just be like, what? Like definitely Russian bots. Like who wouldn't who wouldn't I'm gonna cope a bit more. Sorry here for a second. Copium. Basically, what copium is, just to say, we use the. If you ever played the word game Hearts of Iron 4, you would know what copium is. Basically, when you just pretend that everything's fine, basically, but it's really not fine. But you're not really fine. It's a, you're not really fine and all that. But I'm still going to go around with my thing tomorrow. With my thing, okay, that sounds a bit dangerous. So, I'm still going to go around with it. Then it's the Russian government that asked me. Yes, it's the Scottish government too. They rigged the election too in Finland too. All rigged, obviously. But it's funny how I've seen a few people point this out. It's funny how everybody who's over Scotland, England, and Ireland are all kind of Indian kind of people. They're not, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that's noticing that. So I'm having a brain fit too. I'm making up all the excuses I can make up all day, every day, for the next about 6 months. Like I'm gonna get some abuse basically tomorrow. Everybody's just like, this is the biggest election denial in the country. OT probably do a story on me tomorrow. Actually, no, they probably won't because they were kind of all hoping Santa would win. So OT are going to cry tomorrow, basically. The same as me. They might get me on to cry about it, actually. Can OT do that? Can I get on OT to cry about it? Please. Kenya to move to Scotland, okay. Yeah, so the OT might put me on tomorrow to cry about it, actually. Do you think? It's not possible, basically. It's not good. Not good at all. But it's all rigged, of course. It's all rigged. Like it's a fake. It's a fake election. It's the Russians that interfered with the election. Like we all know it. I don't know. Yeah, well, not by much now. We're literally talking about a few percentage they lost. Literally by a few percentage. The SDLP, the Social Democrat Sanders Party, got 19.9% of the vote. The True Finns Party, which is basically the far right party, as they call it, got 20.1% of the vote. And the Conservatives, the National Conservative Party, got 20.7 or 6, I think it was 6, sorry, percent of the vote. But it's just basically by a few percentages. So we're literally talking about only about a few thousand, maybe 2,000 votes in the difference, 3 or 4,000 votes in the difference, basically. So very, very close, in other words. And the Green Party lost seats too, so it's a big Green Party. They lost by 5%. Oh yeah, I have to get like that. I have to record a scene tomorrow. Do you remember the film Downfall? You ever see that? He's like, Steiner will save us. Yeah, Steiner will save us. Steiner will save us. Isn't that right? Steiner. Get Steiner on here. Yeah, but they have the form of government. Obviously, no party has the. Oh yeah, YouTube won't be happy with that. Um, but obviously, no party has the majority of the form of government, so they have to have a coalition. So I said that probably the three of them have to go in. To be totally, the three parties have to go in. If not, then the government falls, I suppose. Or maybe the True Finns and the National Conservatives can form a government together. But I say that we probably need support of the SDLP to form a government because it still probably wouldn't have the majority because it's that close. Like no party has an outright majority, you know. Like the same as here. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael got hammered in the last election. They lost a lot of seats and stuff. Um, and they had to go in with the Green Party because they didn't have the numbers, and then they had to go in with some independents to back them up, basically in government. So you know that could probably happen there. You know, either that or be another election, and obviously it won't be wait because obviously the Irish government implement no, will not do that. Austrian paid a moment, yeah. Nine. Do you think I get on OT anyway? I'm going to probably apply for the be on OT tomorrow to cry about it. Eamon Wine's out in the field, yeah. Oh, she's not out in Ohio, don't say that yet. We'll give her a job in the Irish government. She can take me Ho's Martin job. Actually, no, she can take Leo's job, and we get rid of Leo. How about that? How does that sound? Or we get rid of me Hole, whichever. Or we get rid of him and Ryan, so we get rid of him and Ryan, and it'll be fine. But him and Ryan, yeah, and he's Fredstone for Viet. Like, if he gets away with it, that's probably what he literally make us do. Because at this point, nobody can afford an electric car, so we might as well go around in Flintstones in the field. With just a bit of walk and just walk along the road with the cow. Like, this is literally what Ireland's turned into at the moment. But in Finland, obviously, Sandra Marie was trying to stop that. She was trying to help people in Finland, but the government, the Putin didn't like it, and Putin didn't want them to have luxury, and Putin decided to rig the election. Like, I never heard such talk about Wigan and all that. Yeah, I'm going to be on OT tonight. OT rang me there and they said, we need somebody to complain and whinge. And I said, I'm the person to complain and whinge tonight. So they're going to have me on as a special edition tomorrow to complain about the far right and how dangerous they are. And how Putin influenced the election. Putin's to blame basically for the potholes in the road and everything like that. So they're going to have me on first thing in the morning to complain about it. I'm going to be on Joe live line with Joe, and Joe's going to talk about it and they're going to complain every night about it for the next 6 weeks. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be on Northern Sound too tomorrow, and I'm going to complain about it too. You know. Imagine if I did OT just wings me up now and says, "Hello, Adrian, could you please come on our program tomorrow to give out about the far right, whatever the far right is, but okay." Joe, Uncle Joe, Uncle. What I'm not even going to say what the next thing I was going to say. Dutch farmers directly, yeah. Well, the Dutch Farmers Party done very well in the Dutch elections. They done better than any of the parties in the Dutch. Like they actually had. They had a majority to go. They had a huge majority, more than the Finnish elections at the moment. They had a bigger majority than any of the parties. They actually got a huge amount of support. Like we're talking about bigger support than any of the other parties in Holland. They got huge support in it, and the mainline parties lost support. So fair play to the people in Holland, and particularly the farmers. Not again, the most people to mess with is the farmers, obviously. Because the farmers, as we've seen before, they blocked up Dublin and nobody could move anywhere. So, that's what the people in Holland are doing. And they're spraying shit on the town halls and stuff like that. So the government, are looking very brown-faced, excuse the pun. But yeah. Yeah, but at least to be right. The election was rigged. At least for the first time, OT be actually right. In making up accusations. For the first time, I actually would agree with them. The first time in history, I actually would agree with them if they said it was rigged. To a certain extent, let's see fair. Hungary, Poland, Italy, and now Finland. Sadly, Adam is far left. Well, we wish Finland was still far left, but I don't really care about any. Like every other place can go. Everybody can go. I don't know. Everybody can go right wing supposedly. As long as Finland stays far left, I'm happy enough. But obviously, it's not far left at the moment, so we have to quiet about it basically until we get it. Like it's all wigged, obviously, of course. YouTube probably say to themselves, "This is the big election denial in history." You know, if you actually, so who said the words in history? If you say a lie, if you say a lie, if you say a lie enough, it becomes true. I think that was Joseph Stalin. Yeah, I think that was Joseph Stalin. If you say a lie long enough, basically, it becomes true. I think it was Joseph Stalin that said it. It wasn't Joseph Stalin. I think it actually was Joseph Stalin. Yeah. Yeah, it was Joseph Stalin. I think that said it. Wasn't it Joseph Stalin? Yeah, I think it was Joseph Stalin that said it. Greece and Ireland will be next. I don't know. Well, we have to get Sandham over here to run for elections over here. Yeah, I think it was Stalin that said it. If you say a lie long enough, it becomes true. So that's my case. I'm gonna just every day denounce it. Joe Biden. It's going to be some copium tomorrow now when I go to work with this on me. Well, at least one thing we can say on it for Sanders, she got them into yoke, got them into NATO, got them into a yoke. She got them into a yoke. How about that? That doesn't sound too nice, but okay. Yeah, I was reading up on them. Yeah, not Buchanan is not much tradition now. I think honestly, with Buchanan, I don't know, not to say. I'm trying to make up everything as we go along. Like I don't think anybody's ever heard such complaining, apart from CNN, obviously. Oh yeah, CNN would be fun now. Somebody should turn on CNN to see what they're talking about. They'd be blaming Donald Trump for it. Aye, he was he basically James Buchanan basically caused the American Civil War by just doing nothing. Like he done nothing and he divided the nation even more. If that makes any sense. Like he'd literally done nothing and he divided it more, basically. He didn't take a stand when the Confederacy was succeeding from the Union, He didn't take a stand. He kind of just done nothing. He was afraid to do anything. And made things even worse, basically. And eventually believe it. Yeah, it's actually exactly what you said, Sean. Yeah. If you tell a lie long enough, eventually people will believe, there actually is housing. There's not an immigration problem. There's not a homelessness problem. What are you talking about? It doesn't exist. If you say that every night in the news, like O3 does, eventually you'll be like to yourself, actually, they might be right, because you listen to it every day of the week, No. I know, I'm just saying it, no, I'm not saying it, but, if you look at the history, it kind of, it kind of says, that James Buchanan kind of divided even more. But more out of fear, I think he was more afraid to do anything, James Buchanan. Because obviously, obviously everybody knew Civil War was coming up, basically. And the Superfire, oh no. I'm not even going to mention Hillary Clinton now. Hello, Kean, how are you doing? Hatch 2. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I know he was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he'd probably done his best. I will say that he'd probably done his best with the situation in hand, obviously, because everybody could see that Civil War was coming. when James Buchanan got elected, that it's just a matter of time. It was when, basically, when it would happen. Particularly when near his end of his presidency, when states started seceding from the Union. And James Buchanan basically did nothing. He didn't stop them succeeding. And in Congress, he made a speech before he left that he wasn't going to. He had no power to stop the Confederacy from succeeding from the Union. He wouldn't stop them, basically from succeeding. But that basically pissed off everybody. And he wouldn't do basically anything to help them get back to the Union and like that. So James Buchanan isolated the people in the North and the people in the South. You know. And then obviously the Dred Scott case too. So just been getting elected. Yeah, but ultimately, but they kind of tell you, everything's fine. They're not really going to say the country's fucked. Let's put it that way. I know they talk about, but in general, OT be just like everything's fine. Leo's doing a great job. Miho is doing a great job. Eamon Ryan's doing a great job. But in general, they won't really go out and say everything's not fine. We need a new government right now. Generally they won't say that. They just say whatever. They just keep up the lie, basically. In the Civil War, yeah. Well, the Irish were supposed to be the best of the best in the American Civil War. The 69th Battalion of the Irish Volunteers was called one of the best units in the Union Army. One of the best fighting units in the Union Army. One of the bravest and most hardy units in the Union Army. And that's the flag that was given to Ireland by President Kennedy when he came over here to the Oireachtas, to the Dáil. He presented the Dáil to the people of Ireland. He gave them the flag of the 69th Volunteer Irish Battalion during the American Civil War, their coat of arms. So here's the brave McClellan boy, the arm he leads us on to victory, the Irish Volunteers. James, what have you done, Mr. Buchanan? What once was one, now is two. Yeah, Sanna said that she concedes the election to, that basically she has lost the election and that she concedes basically to the National Conservative Party. Yeah, so we need Sanna. That's what Sean is basically saying. We need Sanna over here to sort them out. Basically, I agree, Johnny. We need to get them all out and put Sanna in charge. Sanna's the supreme leader. How about that? That'll work fine with me, wouldn't it? Will work fine with everybody. I think everybody would be delighted. I know, but it'd be a lot better than the lunatics that we're having in the moment. So I think she'd be a bit better. Let's put that. Your conflicts, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. If we had Sano here, it'd be a lot better, this country. I'm still just coping. Like, I'm making up everything as going on here. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say, yeah. At least it'd be easy on the eye, basically. Then looking at me whole mountain and fucking looking at Eamon Ryan sleeping all the time. At least it'd be better than that. So at least then we'd be a bit better off. That's what I then looking at Eamon Ryan sleeping all the time. And Leo and me whole going on about, I don't fucking know what they'd be going on about, but they'll go on about different things anyway. the Washington suburbs fight the Ottomans. He has a monument and stuff in his memory. Yeah, well, a lot of people would, even Captain Sheldon, that used to be here, he died in the American Civil War, would have a bridge named after him in the United States. Not really, people kind of forgot about it. At the time it was a big thing, but not many people remember it now, I suppose. Anyway, she did nothing wrong. It was not breaking the law. Like, let's be fair, Golfgate, do you remember here? Oh, when all the members of the Oireachtas went off for jolly, including the European Commission, Phil Hogan, and a minister and all that, and judges, along with some NGOs and some bikers and, all them future funds. They all went for jolly during the lockdown. So, and nothing was ever done about it. Like, that's the funniest part. So, you know, do you remember it? Yeah. Well, at least in fairness, if you look up her apology video, uh, when people asked about that, at least she was truly sorry, even though she didn't have to apologise. She seemed to be truly sorry, not like Phil Hogan. Do you remember Phil Hogan went on OT News after it, and after him being caught on the phone and things, and the gal done nothing? Do you remember him going on? He was kind of smoking to himself and saying, "Ha ha ha, fuck you! Oh, I have loads of money now. I'm going to have a big job in Europe after this, as in the Pfizer." Because when he loses one job, he gets another job. So he was all kind of lined up that he gets something else too. So he wouldn't go on to the dole or anything like that. Of course not. He'd be getting 1,000. So you actually be getting more than that 5 or 6,000 a week on a nice advisory role to some European fucker. Just because why not? So. Like, if you look up the video, it actually shows that she's truly sorry. Compared to the fuckers over here that didn't give a shit, basically. They kind of just laughed at us. Because the Paddy and Joe had to stay in their houses during the lockdown, and we could go out and party to our heart's content. But Paddy and Joe weren't allowed to. They weren't even allowed to go to church. The churches were closed, obviously. And you weren't allowed to buy a meal unless it was over €9. Or COVID will magically appear. You turn up out of the blue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Not better than having some old fuckers that are just a waste of space, let's be fair. Majority of the Irish politicians too. So yeah, anything else before we give out a bit more about it? That's what I. I'm not going to do Far Cry tonight. I was going to do it, but we leave it tomorrow night. I don't know, will she? Do not be afraid, exactly. Well, it's actually true. Like, imagine Leo. Like, Leo wouldn't say it, or me whole. They actually would not say that. We should not be afraid. You shouldn't be afraid. Like, they actually want you to be afraid in this country. Like, they want you just to sit in the corner and be frightened, basically. Should white or what? You should get an OT. Imagine that me just. Oh no, that should be too much. I don't know. I think OT have enough for me because I think it'd be too much for them basically if I went on it now. The guy would be far too much for them. Let's put it that way. I know, but if I went an OT now, the wins are good and quiet. The OT be winning.
Okay, right, back up. Right, we have a shotgun.
They'd be like, this fellow doesn't agree with the government. The Irish government would kill him, shoot him. Government. Oh God, this is a big one. Government. Yeah, scaremonger. Yeah, particularly. Yeah, but at least Santa's like, you should not be afraid. Okay. Over here, they're like, be afraid, to be terrified, be petrified. Sit in the corner. Eamon Ryan tells you every day. You know. So at least she said the truth, basically. You wouldn't hear Irish politicians saying that. Because look at even this eviction ban at the moment. They want people just to be afraid. At any moment, their house could be taken off them. And they could be thrown onto the street. Like, it's all just fear tactics. Making people just be fearful. Yeah, not being afraid is very important. So at least she's white in that regard. But you wouldn't hear, my point is, you wouldn't hear an Irish politician saying that. Let's put it that way. I don't think to be totally honest, it'd be a long time now before people realise about Sinn Féin. Maybe people before profit, but it'd be a long time now because it's kind of like a snake in the grass, and it take a while before people notice it and see it for who they are. It's gonna take time. Let's put that way. Yeah, so it's not gonna happen overnight. Unfortunately. So yeah, anything else then? A bit of snow, stay indoors. A bit of wind, stay indoors. Heavy wind, stay indoors. It's basically stay indoors for everything, basically. That's it. Um. So yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You know, not many Irish politicians come out and say don't be afraid of anything. You know, Eamon, why don't tell you climate change. Mm. So yeah, any closing remarks for tonight? We'll probably go in a second or two, so I can whinge somewhere else to the people at it. There's going to be a lot of whinging for the next few days. Let's put it that way. So you're going to hear a lot of whinging the next day or two. Actually, sorry, for the next month you're going to hear a lot of whinging. Yeah, but the majority of TDs are landlords anyway, so yeah. So I don't think, you know, they're not out for your best interest. Let's put that. Do you think you could write to Sandra if she had more time? Just say you think she's a cool leader. Well, that's gone a bit too far now. I think maybe we see. Actually, that might not be a bad idea, just for the loudness to see if we get a response back. But she'd still be a member. But actually, no. For the next few weeks, she'll probably be trying to form a government. So I do no harm. That'd be that's going to be terrifying. We get the boot. Actually, sorry, the Russian government are in the accept the letter. Them Russians. That's why you have a ship off the coast. It's all working out now. It's all connected now. That's why they have ships off the coast. They want to intercept my letter because I'm warning them off their rigged elections. I don't know why I came with that now. I'm just pulling everything. I can get I'm just making it up as I go along at this stage. YouTube, please fix. So yeah, YouTube, just to say this is all comedy, not being serious, sarcastic times. Not being serious at all. It's all just a big joke, isn't it? It's all just clown mode, isn't it? Actually, yeah, what was I going to do one time? Yeah, I forgot about this. Sorry, give me a second. I'm going to stay like this for the fucking night. Until I finish. This is just, you know, it's dark time. Hello, Mikey. How you doing? It's a dark time, so is there any other darker ones? Yeah, well, no, this is the best. Actually, no. Let me see. We're just black and white now, just to be sad. Santa's witness, indeed. Yeah. So yeah, this is Tim O'Doherty. Right. Yeah, but the picture was there. The picture was there. There's actually going to be a second picture probably. We're going to put a second picture just to fuck all over the Russians basically. We're going to get an even bigger one. It's going to be 15 times the detail. Excuse me. Santa's witness. Yeah, we have to start this off. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to be like for the next few days in this. Just pure depressed mode. Is there any other depressing ones? Very jolly hat. The previous black and white. The previous one, you think is the best? The haunted one, you mean? No, this is terrifying. That picture behind is terrifying. Like, look at the picture behind. Actually, probably don't look because actually, probably you see it in your dreams. So, what does my hand look like? Oh, it looks like. I was going to say it looks shit. It looks like a hand. Iceland flag. It actually kind of does, yeah. It actually looks like Iceland flag, but yeah. We're going full on Iceland. Actually, the Icelandic Prime Minister. We should throw a hat into the ring and try and support the Icelandic Prime Minister at the moment. Look into my eyes. Yeah, this is actually terrifying. No, that's actually terrifying. Just going too close to the camera. See, it's all Putin. Putin made all the phones go like this. And that's why Santa lost the election. Like, I'm just going to make it up as I go along. So, Putin made all this happen. And he made all the phones in Finland work like this now. Because Putin didn't want the, you know. You know the thing. You know the thing, Joe Biden. Oh, that means Zelensky be a bit upset. Yeah, Zelensky's going to be not happy at the moment. Yeah, Zelensky's actually not going to be pleased at the moment. Because the National Conservative Party of Finland and the True Finns won't support Zelensky, basically. I don't think they will. Like, particularly the True Finns party, they want to leave the European Union. They probably won't leave NATO because they only have to join NATO, so they can't just run away from NATO after just joining it. But they want to leave the European Union. The True Finn party. So, yeah. So, but Zelensky won't be happy because Santa used to be always over in Kiev. Santa visits Zelensky a good few times. And obviously, Finland give them a good bit of money and weapons. So, has Zelensky be upset, basically. Vladimir Zelensky. Everybody starts speaking German. At least everybody's not starting speaking Finnish. When the snow starts speaking Finnish. Can we speak English, please? Me don't speak Deutschland. Me don't speak Deutschland. Do not be afraid. Sam Ween is supposed to be making a speech in a few minutes' time. At some point. Don't know when, but at some point anyway. I don't know now. Deutschland, August, that's Irish. I don't know. I think we should come out of our depression for the moment now. Back out of our depression for 5 minutes, innit? We're not back yet, but still coping in that one. I'm just waiting to see is there going to be a speech or what's going to happen. What? This is all rigged. You have to write to sign on, and don't forget to go to pushing Cougars. Yeah, I think we actually need to go and do that. Have to be done. What time? 11 o'clock. Should the hell, but we play a bit of Far Cry maybe in a few minutes. We go in a few minutes' time and play a bit of Far Cry. How about that? How does that sound? A good setup. We can beat them Cougars up. There might not be Cougars in missions, but we should do a bit anyway. And with Greta Doug, yeah, they'd probably make a show, yeah. Yeah, we'll go and play a bit of Far Cry now. I didn't plan to do, but yeah. We'll play a bit of it. Get it set up. Give me a second. Yeah, I have a lot of people getting run over by cows now. So I could take off this pin too. Oh. Continue. Right, so we're probably going to go over. So anything else before we go to play Far Cry? We only do it for now. We're not going to spend now. Because I have work in the morning, so it's going to be copium tomorrow too. You know, well, a beach is over there, so give me 2 seconds and we'll probably go live. Actually, no, I set it up. Just give me a second. I haven't set it up fully now.
The fact that the Mist won't affect people here is a good thing. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Pretty messed up indeed. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Right, so we're ending the tea and we'll be over there.